Hey, what's good, ThriveBit fam? If you're watching this, chances are you're hungry for more. More money, more success, maybe a corner office or your own startup killing it. But here's the real talk. Wanting it isn't enough. I know, it sounds harsh, but we've all been there. Dreaming big, scrolling through Instagram, seeing people living that life and wondering, why not me? Well, I'm here to tell you it can be you, but you need a plan. Not just any plan. A legit goal-setting strategy that'll take you from stuck to unstoppable. Today, we're diving into a game-changing way to set goals that actually work. This isn't about writing a wish list or manifesting vibes. It's about knowing exactly where you stand, what's next, and how to crush it step by step. Ready to 10x your career growth? Let's do this. Yo, what's up, ThriveBit crew? Welcome to ThriveBit by Andy, your go-to spot for business hacks, personal growth, and the motivation to level up your life. I'm Andy, and you're not just watching a video, you're taking the first step to owning your future. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button and join the squad. Let's get you on the fast track to crushing it. Why do most goals crash and burn? All right, let's start with the ugly truth. Why do so many of us set goals and then nothing? You say you want to make six figures, launch a startup, or land that dream job, but a year later you're still in the same spot. Frustrating, right? Here's the deal. Most people fail at goals because they're stuck in the wanting phase. They're dreaming without a roadmap. It's like trying to drive from New York to LA without a GPS, just hoping you'll magically end up there. Spoiler, you won't. The problem isn't your ambition. It's that you haven't asked yourself one critical question. Where am I right now on the path to my goal? That's the secret sauce. You can't get to where you're going if you don't know where you're starting. Think about it. If you're making $2,000 a month but dreaming of $10,000, you need to figure out what skills, connections, or opportunities bridge that gap. Without that clarity, you're just shouting into the void, and that's when frustration kicks in. I've been there. Back when I was scraping by, I used to obsess over more money without a clue how to make it happen. It felt like running on a treadmill, lots of effort, zero progress. But once I started breaking things down, figuring out my starting point, and mapping the steps, everything changed. That's what we're unpacking today. A goal-setting strategy that's practical, no BS, and built to 10x your career. What's your starting line? Let's get real for a second. Where are you right now? Not where you want to be, not where you hope to be in 5 years, but today. This is the first step in our goal-setting strategy. Define your starting line. Imagine you're a regular office worker pulling in $2,000 a month. You're barely covering rent, maybe got some student loans breathing down your neck, and you're dreaming of hitting $10,000 a month. Totally valid goal. But if you're just sitting there wishing for it, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Instead, ask yourself, what's my current skill set? What's my job market value? Am I even in the right industry to hit that number? Here's a quick story. I knew a guy, let's call him Mike. Mike was stuck in a dead-end retail job, making minimum wage, but he wanted to break into tech and earn six figures. He spent months stressing about it, feeling like a failure because his bank account wasn't budging. Then he sat down and got real. He realized his starting line was, I know basic customer service, but I've got zero tech skills. That was his truth. Once he owned that, he could map out what came next. Learning to code, building a portfolio, applying for entry-level tech roles. 2 years later, Mike's a junior developer pulling in $70,000 a year. Not quite six figures yet, but he's on the path. The point? You can't skip the starting line. Grab a notebook, your phone, whatever, and write down, What do I bring to the table right now? Skills, experience, network. Lay it all out. Be brutally honest. That's your foundation, and we're building from there. Where do you want to go? Now that you know your starting line, let's talk about the finish line, or at least the next big milestone. This is where most people get it wrong. They set vague goals like, I want to be rich, or I want to be successful. Cool, but what does that even mean? A solid goal-setting strategy needs specificity. Let's go back to that $2,000 a month worker. Instead of, I want more money, try this. I want to earn $10,000 a month as a freelance graphic designer in 2 years. Boom. Specific, measurable, and tied to a timeline. Now you've got something to work with. Here's how to nail this step. Be specific. Don't just say, better job. Say, marketing manager at a tech startup with an $80,000 salary. Make it realistic. If you're starting from zero, aiming for a CEO gig in 6 months is a stretch. Aim for something challenging but doable. Set a deadline. Goals without timelines are just wishes. Give yourself 6 months, a year, or 2 years, whatever makes sense. When I was starting out, my goal was to go from a $30,000 a year gig to running my own side hustle that made $5,000 a month. I gave myself 18 months. It wasn't a random number. I looked at what I needed to learn, who I needed to meet, and what I could realistically pull off. That clarity kept me focused. So, what's your finish line? Write it down, make it real. What's the next step? Here's where the magic happens. You know where you are, you know where you're going. Now it's about the in-between. This is the heart of our goal-setting strategy, identifying the next step that bridges your starting line to your goal. Let's say your goal is that $10,000 a month freelance graphic designer gig. You're currently an office assistant with basic Photoshop skills. What's the next step? Maybe it's enrolling in an online course to master Adobe Illustrator, or building a portfolio with 3 killer designs, or reaching out to a mentor who's already freelancing. The key is to focus on the next step, not the whole staircase. Think of it like a video game. You don't jump from level 1 to the boss fight. You grind through level 2, level 3, and so on, picking up skills and power-ups along the way. In career terms, those power-ups are new skills, certifications, or connections. Here's a pro tip. Break your goal into milestones. If $10,000 a month is the big win, your milestones might be: Month 3, complete a graphic design course. Month 6, build a portfolio with 5 projects. Month 12, land your first $1,000 client. Each milestone is a mini goal that keeps you moving forward. And trust me, hitting those small wins feels amazing. It's like checking off a to-do list. Every step builds momentum. What skills are you missing? All right, let's get practical. To hit your milestones, you need the right tools in your toolbox. That means skills. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a year, but underestimate what they can learn in that time. So, ask yourself, what skills do I need to get to that next milestone? Back to our freelance designer example. If the job postings for $10,000 a month gigs require advanced Adobe skills, branding knowledge, and client management, that's your hit list. Don't have those skills? No problem. You can learn them. Here's how to level up. Online courses. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, or Skillshare have affordable courses on almost anything. Free resources. YouTube tutorials, blogs, and podcasts can teach you a ton without spending a dime. Real-world practice. Volunteer for projects at work, take on side gigs, or even do free work to build your portfolio. I remember when I wanted to break into content creation. I had zero clue about video editing. So I spent 3 months watching free YouTube tutorials and practicing with cheap software. Was it glamorous? Nope. Did it get me to the next step? Hell yeah. Here's the kicker. Sometimes the best opportunities to learn are the ones that don't pay yet. If you get a chance to shadow someone, intern, or take on a low-paying gig that teaches you a high-value skill, do it. That's an investment in your future self. How do you stay motivated? Let's be real. Chasing goals is hard. There are days when you'll feel like giving up, when Netflix seems way more appealing than grinding. That's why a killer goal-setting strategy includes a plan to stay motivated. First, celebrate the small wins. Finished that course? Treat yourself to a coffee or a night out. Landed your first client? Post about it, humbly of course, to remind yourself you're moving forward. These little rewards keep the fire burning. Second, surround yourself with the right people. Find a mentor, join a mastermind group, or even just follow inspiring accounts on X. When I was starting out, I followed entrepreneurs who shared their failures and wins. It made me feel like I wasn't alone. Finally, visualize your goal daily. Sounds cheesy, but it works. Picture yourself in that corner office running that startup or cashing that big check. That mental image will pull you through the tough days. What's holding you back? Here's the part nobody likes to talk about. The stuff that's keeping you stuck. Maybe it's fear of failure, procrastination, or thinking you're not good enough. Spoiler, everyone feels this way sometimes. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is that the winners push through. Take a second to identify your roadblocks. Is it a lack of confidence? A bad habit like scrolling X for hours? Or maybe you're in a toxic environment that's draining your energy. Whatever it is, name it. Then make a plan to tackle it. For example, if procrastination's your thing, try the 2-minute rule. Start any task by doing it for just 2 minutes. You'll be amazed how often those 2 minutes turn into an hour of productivity. If it's self-doubt, write down 3 things you've already accomplished. Remind yourself you're capable. Ready to 10x your life? All right, ThriveBit fam, let's wrap this up. You've got the goal-setting strategy now. Know your starting line, define your finish line, map out the next steps, level up your skills, stay motivated, and tackle what's holding you back. This isn't just about setting goals, it's about becoming the person who achieves them. Here's your homework. Grab a notebook and answer these questions tonight. Where am I right now? Where do I want to be in a year? What's the very next step I can take? Do that, and you're already ahead of 90% of people. The path to 10x career growth isn't easy, but it's simple. It's about showing up, doing the work, and trusting the process. Thanks for hanging with me, ThriveBit crew. If this hit home, drop a like, share it with someone who needs it, and let's keep pushing each other to level up. I'll see you in the next one. Stay hungry, stay thriving.